So let's get straight into it. As you can see, this closure is very, very pre-plucked, okay? That is why I wanted my first video to be on how to pluck a lace front, because if you know how to pluck a lace front, you'll be able to pluck a closure. So we're not going to be doing too much plucking with this because my vendor sends it really pre-plucked, which I love. However, because I know how to pluck a lace front, if I do come across one that's a little thicker, then I'll go in and pluck it. But other than that, if you did not watch how to pluck a lace front, definitely would watch that if your hairline is a little more on the thicker side. But for this, I am going to be doing the middle part and baby hairs. So very, very detailed. First things first that you want to do is you want to make sure that your closure is lined up directly in the middle of the canvas head. So all canvas heads have this string right in the middle. Not a string, but it's like this mark right in the middle. And that's how I like to make sure that I'm lining up the closure in the middle. I'll take it and I'll make sure, because you can also tell there's other lines on here. Kind of make sure this is like even and that it is directly in the middle. Pin and pin. The first thing that I like to do is I'm going to push the hairline back with the hot comb. So I'm using my Sassy Princess Silver hot comb that you can find on my website. Right now it is going up, but we can go straight into it and push the hairline back. And I'm making sure I'm using the back of this. This back piece is what's going to really press it back. You don't ever just want to comb through. Combing through like this, it doesn't help it stay. You want to comb through and press that back piece. And that's how you're going to get it to like mold back. Now, if you watched my how to pluck a lace front tutorial, I did mention that you don't want to pluck too much around this hairline. Now, this hairline is pretty perfect for me. I don't need to pluck any of it. We're just going to go straight into the hairline part. What you're going to take is your rat tooth comb. Now, this is a rat tooth comb. The end of this comb is really skinny compared to a comb like this, okay? You want to get a really skinny one so then that it's easier to do your part and it's easier to like just part it. So there is a difference between these two combs. One is a lot thicker than the other. You want to get the tinier one, which is the rat tooth comb. I always like to use this line here to do my part because I will literally take the comb and I will follow this line all the way through. Because this skinny comb, right, I'm able to place it right in the middle of like this line, and it's able, like, it's not moving too much. Like I'm able to like go through with the line and stay in it. So what I like to do, and I'm actually going to zoom in because you guys need to really see what I'm doing. I'm going to take the comb, and what I'm going to do is dig, okay? What I mean by dig, don't like scrape it, but like have the comb pressed against this line and go through the part, okay? And I'm doing it straight. Now, this is where it gets really, really technical. So what you're going to want to do is find the line in the lace. Most closures will have like the knots will be lined straight, like going straight across. And what you're going to want to do is find that part between two straight parallel lines and go through it. And I'm going to go through it just so you can see. But one thing I always do is every time I'm going over the part, I'm always going back from where I started. So I'm using this guide here, and I'm digging. I'm trying to find this line, okay? As you can see, that's not like straight. So we have to like really dig through to like separate this line. And I'm going to get closer into the hairline just so you can see what I'm like talking about. Every time I am coming, like doing a part, I'm coming from the front and I'm finding this line. I am going to hot comb this way. I'm going to separate the hair. I'm going to hot comb it this way and then hot comb it the other side because I need to actually pick up the phone so you can see this line that I'm talking about that I created. Well, I didn't necessarily, like I created it, but it's a line that's already there. So This is this line that I'm talking about. You can see on this side there is a straight line, and then on this side there is a straight line. What I did was I parted in between that line. You can see that I'm following. Let me let it focus. I'm following the line that I used, and I went right through that hairline, and you can actually see the line here, right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep going through here, through the line with the comb. So now that I already created in the front, it's easier for me to just go through with it. Keep going through, removing all the unnecessary hairs. As you can see, all these little pieces of hair makes a difference. You can see these little pieces of hair are going this way. What we want to do is go right in between that and lay these pieces of hairs this way with the hot comb. That just allowed me to open up my line more. Okay? Now, as you're doing this though, and you're separating those little pieces of hair that we just moved, you want to make sure they stay in place. And how you make it stay in place is hot combing over here and hot combing the hair this way, separating it. We want it to be hot comb, all of the little pieces of hair to be in the right direction, because this will make it easier for us to just follow that straight line instead of all these these little pieces in the way. So now I'm going to keep following my line. I made sure that this beginning is clean. Now I'm going to keep following it. And again, I like to start from the beginning because I know this is clean. And I'm digging. Okay, I'm making sure I'm staying in this line. Okay, moving these to the side. Want to look. And keep following. I'm going to start back up here. Keep following. In this process, you really have to take your time with it. Making sure it's straight. I always say, before you pluck, it has to be straight first. Okay, I'm making sure every little piece of hair matters. When you catch them the first time, it's easier to just pluck. You'll see once we pluck. Okay, so now I am going to hot comb. Now that I have it like separated, I'm going to hot comb this side flat and hot comb the other side flat. And we want to make sure all these little pieces of hair is flat. Okay? I want to make sure all of these little pieces of hair is flat. And they're on the side that it needs to be on. I'm going to zoom in again. Okay, so this is where I started at. And as you can see, that's still a straight line. And you can see there is a row of hair on this side and a row of hair on that side. Okay, and I'm making sure that this is straight. You see these little pieces of hair? They need to be hot combed. Over here, back here, isn't as straight. If I keep going with this line, I'm picking up all of those little pieces of hair. And they need to come on this side. All those little pieces of hair needs to come on the other side. Really just towards the back. So again, I'm following here. And it's just towards the back that we gotta fix these little pieces of hair. And then we hot comb it. And as you can see, the hairline is really straight. Like, we didn't even pluck it, and it's already really straight. If you're not someone who cares for like a defined, wider part, you can probably just rock out with this. But you can see that it's all going in a straight line. So now for the tweezing part. So you're gonna get your tweezers. The tweezers that I use is Almine. The link will be down below for you to get them. Okay, so we have our part. Okay. Now, as you can see, there's 2 rows here, and we're in between both rows, okay? There's 2 rows. You see a row on this side, and you see a row on this side. What you need to do is choose one side to pluck and stay there. So what I'm going to do, I am going to choose, and it doesn't matter, but I'm going to choose the left side. And I'm going to pick up every single piece of hair on this left side. Because you can see there's a row right here. There's a row here. I'm not going to pluck on this row. I'm going to pluck this row. Okay? And I'm going to stay in this straight line and only pluck on this row. And as you can see, I'm going straight with it because we made it straight the first time. If it's straight the first time, then it's going to be easy just to pluck. I'm only plucking this row. So I'm actually going to get a little close.
I recommend that you pluck an inch behind the hairline because it would be easier for you to start there, because the front can be a little more thinner, but you'll see as I move forward and back how it will be easier to start behind the hairline.
So I'm just going to start. Doesn't necessarily matter where you start. And I'm plucking the knots. As you can see, I just plucked a little bit. Some on this side, and now I'm just going to keep following. I can keep following this way, and I can keep following straight. Going back and plucking this row. And because I am staying on one side and it's just going straight, it's a lot easier. You can already see that space opening up. You see that row? Now you see that space. I'm actually going to come forward now in a row. I'm just following it. Now here you want to make sure the front area, all of the hair is separated. So then that is easier to just pluck. So I'm going to need my hot comb. Just move that way. Move this way. Necessarily come out. But you can very much well see the difference. And what I'm going to keep doing, going in a straight line and staying on that left side. You got to really have a good eye for it. And I'm going to keep doing that until I go all the way back. And look at that when it's a little farther away. Look at that. Yeah, you better stop playing with me. On the left side. And when we're plucking those knots, those little dots. Look at that so far. This is where I stop, and I still got that line to just keep following. You can see the difference. And this is something you want to take your time with. And like I said, you gotta have a good eye. And I like to go as far back as I can just to use all the space that we have for the 5x5 closure. This is a 5x5 closure, by the way. And that is as far as I can go. And look at that part. That is literally perfect and straight from the beginning to the end. And because we only stayed on one side when you were plucking, but the main thing is, we made sure it was straight first. It has to be straight first. That's the only way it's going to be easy for you to just pluck on one side and keep going straight. Look at that. Wow. Okay, so now that we have this part plucked, we are going to take out the baby hairs. So I am going to do 2 baby hairs, the one on this side and one on this side. Back in the day, I used to do like swoop, like one here, one in the middle, and here. But now I think the 2 swoops are, you know, what's more popular. So this is how you're going to take your hot comb. We're going to push this back. Now I want my baby hairs to be here, so I like to leave like the same amount of space in between these 2 parts. I'm going to start here, and what I'm going to do is kind of curve out like a half a circle. So I'm going to go like this, like a rainbow. And you're gonna just kind of like mess with it until you get the hairs that you want out. And you want to make sure it's nice and clean. So I'm pulling out a clean amount, just like this. Okay. So I'm gonna hold this forward, and I'm going to take my hot comb and I'm going to push the hairline back. But when I'm pushing it back, I'm also pressing this back part into this so it can lay flat. We want to separate all of the hair from this baby hair as much as possible. I kind of like to go like this. I'm rubbing this back area. But you want to push all of the hair back. The best ways to do baby hairs is when none of the other hairs are in the way, and we're just working with that section right there. So we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Let's just start here and go in like a circle and clean it up. I'm going to take some more, half a circle, and make sure whatever you're pulling out is clean. Okay, we want to pay attention to just it being clean, all in the right places. And this allows it to make it easier for you to do like your baby hair. Same with the part. When the part is nice and clean first, then the other part is easy. So I'm holding the baby hairs, I'm pressing this, pushing all these other hairs back. We don't want that in the way. And it should be laying flat. These baby hairs, they should be laying flat. You'll make sure these is flat before you even do the baby hairs. Like, the hair needs to be going forward. Okay, so now after I do this part, now we are going to go to the part of laying it down flat. So you're going to need a rat tooth comb, using my molding spray, and a little bit of wax. I like to lay my wig mostly down with my molding spray, and it's because I don't really like wax sticks too much. I don't like how greasy it is, so using a wax stick all throughout the hair, it kind of makes the top greasy and it starts to separate, and now the grease is like in front of my face, like the hair's in front of my face, and now it's greasy and stringy. I don't like that, so I always been like more of like a spray girl. So when I first started, I like to use spritz, and I didn't have my molding spray at this time, but spritz was the product I like to use, and I do recommend it if, for the sake of this video, you to just have spritz if you don't have my spray. But I know, like, because I love that spritz so much, however, it was making it hard. What if I made my own product and it's more of a softer hold, and there's also no residue. So that is when I came out with wanting to have this product, because it gives a soft hold, it quickly dries, there's no oils in it, and it also doesn't make it crunchy and hard, and you'll see that throughout the video. But because there's no oils in it, I don't get as much of the shine that I would like. So that's why I do go in with a little bit of the wax stick, just for a little bit of the shine. But when you see me go in with the wax stick, you're gonna literally see me dab it. Like, I'm not putting too much. I literally had this wax stick for a year. Like, I don't use too much at all. So you'll see that. So it is these two products. So having a wax stick and a molding spray as the main hold, definitely recommend instead of just using a wax stick. So the first thing that we're going to do is we are going, oh, look at that part. Jeez, wow. I really like that. Okay. So we're gonna lay I like to start from the back. So we're gonna start from the back. And what we're gonna do is hot comb this hair to cover up these tracks in the back here. So I like to go like 1/2 of an inch up, like this much, and we're going to dig the comb through. And when I say dig, it's like we really want to create a part. Just how like when the braiders, they are, you know, sectioning off and parting our hair for the braid, and they're really gliding this, really gliding, I was about to say pencil, oh my, the comb across. It makes it easier to have like a clean, straight part. So I'm going to just dab, 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 a little bit of wax, this molding spray, I'm going to spray, and that is what's going to give us this hold. Because now we're going to go through with the hot comb. We're not combing it, we're using that back piece. If you saw how I did it, I went through and I kind of lifted this up, because that back piece is what's going to lay it down flat. You don't just comb. If I just did that, that's not a quicker, it's just not as quick. And you just press it in like that, nice and flat. So we're going to do the other side now. Like this. I got like a whole different pen. I actually recommend the not pen, oh my gosh, rat tooth comb, because it's a lot easier to part. So dab, 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 molding spray, and you'll just need one spray. You don't need too much. You're gonna go through and press down. Go through, press down, and look at that. Look at that back. That is so nice. You can see now we have the back nice and flat. So now we're going to work side to side. So I am going to start on this side, and I always recommend that you section. So when you section, you're able to have it flatter. So I'm going to go through, and I like to break this area into 3 sections. So this is my first one. Take a little more here. Okay, and so I'm gonna spray my molding spray. Don't necessarily need the wax over here, because this is all going to be covered, but I do like the wax more at the top. So I'm going through. It's getting nice and flat. Look at that. And then I'm going to split this into 2. I'm going to use a little bit of wax here. Spray and lay. Look at that. Stand up so I can get this view. Back here, I want to make sure it's flat and separated. And then this last section where the part is, you want to make sure all the hair is in the direction that it needs to be. So we want this part to be nice and clean. So I'm going to go in. I'm going to go in with the wax. I like the wax just at the top. Then my molding spray. And lay. just like that. And I'm really applying pressure. Like, you gotta apply pressure if you want this to be flat. And that is super flat. Now, you're gonna repeat on the other side. Now that we have both of it pressed out, this looks so good. Wow. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is we're going to work on this front area. Make sure these baby hairs are still separated. We're just going to comb this back. Like I said, you gotta make sure these baby hairs is separated. So, and I'm going to dab the grease here. And this wax stick we're gonna spray. And this is why I'm gonna show you that my spray isn't hard or crunchy, but it gets the job done. So I sprayed the front of the hairline. I'm going to go through and press with the back hot comb. And you can see it lays it instantly. Look at that. That is a nice hold. No molding spray, molding spray. That is so nice. And just to show you that it's not a hard or crunchy product, I'm just going to comb right through. I'm also going to just take it apart. You can see it's a light hold, but because we molded it, and it's called the molding spray, it's going to mold in the direction that we did it, and you can actually still see the difference. And because you don't need too much, there's already product on the hairline, the heat will just reactivate it to stay. And now we're gonna do this side. We spray this side as well. Oh, actually, I can tell there's not much on this side, so let me just spray again. There we go. And push back. And that is perfect. We have a nice, clean hairline. Okay, so now it's time to do the baby hairs. Now, I'm not gonna lie, y'all. My baby hairs is nice, but it be some people's baby hairs that I really love. And I'm like, Dad, I wish my baby hairs look like that, so. Trust me. I sometimes think I could be better. But, so with the baby hairs, I'm going to cut in a slant. And I like to cut it to where the lace ends. I think that's good enough to start out with. So I did it right where the lace ends. The lace ends right here. So we're gonna do on this same side. And cut again. I'm gonna go through with the hot comb again, just making sure that it's really flat. All the hairs that we need is flat down. This is what's gonna make it easier for you to swoop. So for the baby hairs, I'm going to be using a lot of body. I used to use gel, but I found that the gel would just kind of be a little hard afterwards. So a lot of body, I do like more of a soft baby hair look. I'm going to be using my brush. And you're also going to need a blow dryer. Because I like to blow dry mine in place. Because once you put like a lot of body, I don't know, it just kind of dries. I don't know. I just want it to be dry instead of wet. It like holds better when it's dry. So I put it on there, and what I like to do is I'm going to begin brushing this way, but I'm using my hand to kind of help me shape it. So going like this, I'm using my hand, my finger to help shape and keep the baby hairs in place. And look at that. Now I am going to take the end of this edge brush and hold the baby hairs down flat with the brush and take the blow dryer and blow dry it. And I do have it on heat. So I'm blow drying the baby hairs in place. And the reason why I'm using like a stick, like the end to hold it, is so it doesn't lift up, because once we put product on it, or like made it wet, it can lift up. So I just do this until it dries. pretty good. Wow. So now we're going to do the other side, same thing. And we're going to brush it forward and start to swoop using my hand to control the baby hair. Now I will say practice is going to make perfect for this, because it took me some time to get that. So hopefully I am explaining it easy so you can get it as well. I'm going to hold this down and blow dry. Wow, that baby hair is so nice, both of them. This whole hairline is clean. No spray needed. Like, no spray, no makeup. This is raw plucking, raw neatness. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay the hair forward now, because no one's going to walk around with it just like that. I'm going to use a little bit of wax, and I'm just putting it at this top part here. My molding spray. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to begin moving the hair forward and closing in that like space. So I'm moving all of the hairs forward, because this is going to help cover up the tracks on the side and also have hair in our face, like instead of like side to side, if that makes sense. Like we want it to all come straight together. Same thing with this side. I'm just moving the hair all forward. This is so perfect. Wow. Okay. Wow. Like, oh my gosh. This is so perfect. I really did that. Okay, y'all. Now I'm going to put this on the mannequin head and do the finishing touches. I got to show y'all. It's on my hand. Look at that hairline. What? Imagine getting your wig and look like this. The wait would be worth it. Look at that. That is organic plucking skills. That part right there, there's no makeup, there's no spray. Like, yo, you gotta learn from the best. Okay, so now we have this on the mannequin head, and I'm just going to get this picture perfect by relaying it down on a mannequin head, because when you lay a wig on that block head, you're molding it to whatever shape it is, right? So that block head is a block, it's a square. So sometimes after molding it on there and you put it directly on your head, it will then still kind of look boxy. So that's why it's important, whatever after you're finished making it on the head, you make sure that you mold it to your head size now. Maybe you want to now make it flat to this size. So never just raw dog it, and you want to make sure it's like all straight. Look at that. That is so freaking perfect. And now I'm just going to put all the hair up in front. So I'm just going to spray some Polish Up hair serum. I'm gonna get that combed throughout the hair, and I'm going to go through the flat iron real quick, because right now we're trying to make this picture perfect, and you gotta treat your pictures that you take like it's a photo shoot, mamas. Okay, I mean, it is. Lay that nice and flat. And now for the finishing touch, you already know my ladder body. This is what I use to lay down flyaways, and it adds a nice shine in like a finishing touch. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. This technique is what carried me throughout my business and kept the people coming back. if you enjoyed this video, please like, please comment. I want to hear you guys' feedback. If you even did this yourself, DM me or email me a picture. I want to see what you guys do. I'm so happy that I can give this to you guys. So yeah, it will mean the world to me for me to get some feedback and just see what you guys do. So like I said, if you like this, like and subscribe, because I will be posting more videos. This channel isn't just going to be more than just what I'm putting up. So I want to give you guys other tutorials and stuff. So if there's anything in mind, leave a comment. Everything that I do,
if you are someone who is looking for quality hair, I do sell the closure as well as the bundles. This is 4 inches of my 30 inches, and you can also purchase this wig fully customized in the custom wig section. Choose your own density and length.